Well, hello friends. Today we're going to do some browser stuff and we are going to make it possible to open text files in the web browser. So it's currently something that we can't really do. So if we had a text file here, hello there, and we tried to open this in the browser, I guess actually there's no good way to do that. We'll have to type it in here. We should be able to drag and drop files. That would be helpful. If we do this, it will try to load it as if it's HTML. And obviously, we want the browser to support loading a text file, because very often on the web, you click on a link and it goes to a text file, and it just renders it anyway, like in a fixed width font, and I think we should do the same. So, and then maybe we can also do some drag and drop stuff, actually. So let's see, let's start with, so we have this thing already called image document, or at least that's what I thought. What do we do when we get an image? Don't we have image document? Okay, I'm mistaken. We do something when we load it like a PNG file, then we throw it up in a special document. I feel like I called image doc something. Yes, okay. Create image document. So it's just a helper function. So this is what we do for image files. And here is how we determine that something might be an image file, right? So we don't actually look at MIME type or anything like that. We just guess based on the extension. So I think we're going to do something very similar for text files right now. So we'll just say if the URL ends with .text, we will assume it's a text file. And then at some point we should go and make a MIME type decision instead, like based on the MIME type. But right now we don't really know the MIME type. We could extract it from the HTTP headers for a remote resource, but for a resource on my computer, there's no MIME type, right? Like there's no HTTP server to give me a header saying what the MIME type is, so I have to guess based on the file name. That's usually how it works. So we'll do something like this. So we'll follow the same pattern as create image document. So let's see. So I guess here we have the whole data of the text document. So basically this is going to be called when we have completely loaded a text file and now we just want to throw it up on screen. But it's not HTML, so we have to like create a document around it that the browser can render. So it will be very similar to what we're doing down here. I'm just thinking, could we do this in a simpler way? But maybe it's not necessary. So we'll start by just making a document. And this is also what we'll return at the end. And then we'll create an HTML element. And oh, I guess I have to say document. We should have a document API for creating an element. That would be nice. Maybe we can add that. We'll add a document ref putter element create element tag name. That would be a useful API because we're going to need this API from JavaScript eventually anyway. Document create element, and we can just return the wait, what is that thing called? Web create element, this tag name. So we're calling the global function. Yeah, that doesn't work because it gets confused because we already have create element in document. So if I want to call a global function in the web namespace, I have to actually qualify with the namespace. Anyway, all of that just to be able to write this in a slightly nicer way, in my opinion. I feel like this is a bit more expressive. And what is wrong with this? Oh, because it returns a ref putter. Well, that's okay. We'll just do this. And then we will make... I guess we can just copy what this guy down here is doing, at least for the head and title and stuff. Let's copy that and work off of that. Document. I like this better. Create elemente. And for the title of the document, I guess we can just put the file name, right? Like the base name of the URL. So this is actually a more concise way of saying this these days. You can just do url.basename. So we can fix that up down there, but maybe we'll fix up create image document later on after we learn more things here. So the text of the title tag is just going to be the URL base name. Okay. And ooh, doesn't document have like a create text node? I feel like it does. Yeah, document.create text node. Let's add that as well. Text, create text node. What does that take as an argument? Just the data of the text node, right? So what about create element though? Maybe it has more parameters that I'm forgetting. Tag name and options. Custom elements. Yeah, well, we're not implementing custom elements right now. That's okay. libweb. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Why can't I do that? Is that not in the forwarding header? It's not. Let's add it. Okay, so that would be data. And that's good. And then create element. I feel like create text node should basically always succeed because there's no reason that it would fail, right? Whereas create element can fail. Or can it fail? I don't know if it can fail. Return value, new element. Because why would it fail? Like even if you tell it to create some element that doesn't exist, it's still just going to give you like a tag with that name, even though it's the tag doesn't mean anything to the browser. It doesn't mean that you can't create it. So I think the reason I'm saying all this is because I think we can use non-null ref putter instead. Because at first I was thinking we should let these functions fail, but now the more I think about it, I don't think they can fail. Unless, of course, you're one of these people who think that anything that allocates should have a failure mode, but I tend not to write programs that way because then they just become obnoxious, because then everywhere that you instantiate or call create element, you also have to check, well, did it fail because of running out of memory? And I don't know, it's just not fun to read or write code written that way. Just to accommodate some edge case. So here we'll just do adopt new text data. And of course we'll need libweb text. DOM text. You're not incomplete. Okay, what's wrong now? Oh, we need a document pointer. That's easy. Okay, so this is pretty good. And that actually simplifies, so now we don't need to do these stars. And here we can say document dot create text node. Look how fancy and nice this is getting. Okay, and then we create the body element. And what are we going to put in the body element for a text node or for a text document? I guess we can just put a pre-tag. I mean, that would be like the most obvious thing to do. What happens if we just put a pre-tag? And then we take the data that we have, which is our entire text file, and we just slap it into that pre-tag. So we'll call this the pre-element, and the pre-element append child document create text node. So let me just look at what text expects. Yeah, he wants a string, right? So we have to make a string out of this. When we get here, then we only have a byte buffer. So a byte buffer and a string are not memory compatible, so we have to actually convert it into a string. It's a little bit unfortunate. We get a transient state here where we have both the data and the copy of the data in memory. It would be nice if we didn't, but yeah, this is kind of stuff that you don't have to optimize today because we have all of the future to care about little things like this. No matching function. Oh, wait, did I screw up something else? Yes, I did here. So we can just do that. Now that we have our own thing in document, this fix-up function is totally not very good. Basically, the idea of this function is that if you load a web page that has sort of like an inconsistent DOM or incomplete DOM or whatever, then we would notice some stuff here. So like if there's no document type tag, for example, then we will just insert one and try to add like a body tag if needed and stuff like that. And there's a standard way that you should do that, which is all in the HTML spec, in the parser spec, but we're not following the parser spec. We should. It's just a matter of taking the HTML parser spec and sitting down and translating it to C++. It is very, very sort of translation friendly. It's like written in terms of states and how you transition between them, and I should just do it at some point. I don't know why I'm not doing it. I guess because there's so much other stuff to do. All right, so let's open up in browser myfile.txt. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh, the URL looks a bit silly, but that's not because of something we were doing now. So let's see what the DOM looks like here. If you look at the DOM tree. So yeah, this is the DOM that we created. So we got the title right here, pre-tag, and then the content. So I'm thinking though, or is this just gonna work magically? Because we're not sending this through the parser, right? So we're creating a DOM node directly, which means that we could do stuff like foo, and this should not be interpreted like HTML, right? There you go. So that's pretty cool. Hello amp. Yeah. Awesome. Wow, I'm glad that just worked right away. Okay, so let's see. Let's do some commits. commit add text to the forwarding header. And then, oh, hold on. I guess we can do the document change by itself. Web add document, create element, and create text node helpers. Okay, and then finally, create text document. Magic. Web. Teach HTML how to open a .txt file. When encountering a text file, we now wrap it in a little. We now put it in a little wrapper document with the text, its file contents in a pre tag. This works really nicely. So what else can we look at here? We could look at like readme MD. Oh wait, can I do this? Does that even work? Okay, so this MD file does not. Oh, because it's not .txt. Well, yeah. I guess we could do something for MD files, but what would we want to do? I guess interpret it as Markdown, convert it from Markdown to HTML so that it would just work. That makes sense as a feature, doesn't it? I mean, that makes perfect sense. Like, we should just do that. Why wouldn't that work? So let's see, where did we do the txt thing? So if we open an MD file, then let's see, Markdown, document, I'm just thinking, is it okay for libweb to depend on libmarkdown? But I think so. The other way around would not be very good, because libmarkdown is like very low level and just produces HTML. So there's no need for him to actually depend on libweb in any way. But for libweb to say, oh, I need some help with Markdown, that seems fine. So let's see, Markdown document, parse data. So if this works, then wait. We shouldn't do this here. We'll do create Markdown document data. We'll do this in a helper, of course. What am I even thinking? Create a Markdown document. So, we need to, if it doesn't work, well, if it doesn't work, then let's return null clear. But if it does work, then we can now do Markdown document, render to HTML, and we can make an HTML document out of that. So parse HTML document. I think we can do it like that. And we can even say return. Wait, what's going on here? Where is the web? And And sync and run. Oh, right. We need to link against it now in browser. But that's okay. We'll just put him right here, Markdown. More cool system integrations happening. So we open this in the browser and look at that. It even loads the screenshot that's referenced in the Markdown. That's really cool. Wonder if we can open GitHub from here. It tries to load and it crashes. Where are we crashing? HTML 446. Oh, wait, hold on. So I think because that URL ended in .md, then we actually tried to do this with the data blog that we got. So we should only care about these things if how should that work? I guess if we don't have a MIME type from the server, and if it's no, if we don't have a MIME type. If we do have a MIME type, we should listen to the MIME type. Yeah. So let's see what the response header says. So that would be in the content type header, which I guess we're already looking at here. So we're already extracting the char set. We could also like extract the MIME type. I guess it wouldn't be terribly difficult, but let's do one thing at a time. So let's see if we broke something else by doing this. Yeah, IRC client needs to link against Markdown, which I guess is not the end of the world. Once we do shared libraries, you're not going to notice this stuff as much because they were just shared libraries will just depend on each other, and you won't have to update app files. But this feature is pretty cool so far. I like that we can now open Markdown in the browser. So, and the change is so simple, right? Like we're just adding a create Markdown document helper. Libweb, teach HTML how to parse, how to render Markdown files. That's pretty cool. So let's see about that MIME type stuff. Or wait, there was something else I wanted to do also. It was the drag and drop. Because wouldn't it be nice if I could go here and I could just drag this here file and just drop this sucker, like, I don't know, somewhere? I mean, there are so many different actions you could imagine, right? Also, maybe when you drag over a window, then that window should like pop over temporarily. That might be a nice feature. So many things I'm just noticing all these things I want to make better. By the way, let me show you this little thing I made earlier today, which I really like, which is, did I make everything crash? Yes, I did. Okay, I don't know what I did there, but something went wrong. So, but I wanted to show you something else. So now, yesterday I made hyperlinks in the terminal, right? Now I also made it so that they are dotted underline always if something is hyperlinked, and it just becomes like a solid underline when you hover it. And if you click on it, it goes red to show you that you're clicking, right? And of course, if you change your mind, you can just press escape, I thought, but no, you can't. But you can drag them, which is a pretty interesting feature. So you can actually, now you can drag URLs from the terminal, and you could even, if we have a directory here, let's open it up, and I can actually drag file from the terminal into this directory, and I think that's kind of neat. It's just a little thing. I just wanted to show you. Anyway, so I think it would be cool if we could do that, right? It would just drop a file, a URL on the web view, on the HTML view. So let's see if we can just handle a drop event here, and it wouldn't be terribly tricky. Although I haven't done much of the drag and drop programming yet. There's so many things I would like to enable drag and drop in the GUI, but we'll just have to do it incrementally like everything else. But it is good to test out this type of stuff, because you notice these like interactions that could be better between systems, right? So let's see, what would we do here? What kind of data do we have on the event? We have the text, the position, and the MIME data. So I think we want the MIME data. And what's in there? We have to include the core MIME data. Yeah, I don't recall exactly how this works. Let's see what's in there. Okay, so URLs. So basically, if it has URLs, then we're interested. So if the MIME data has URLs, then we will load the URLs first. Otherwise, we just straight up, I mean, in this case, we will say like, that's good. Otherwise, we will ignore this event. I think that's okay. This might, I was just thinking, this might be irritating because in some cases you don't want your random HTML view to accept drops, right? So we'll probably want to have a little bit of control here, because like we're using the HTML view as the text rendering for the IRC client, for example. And you certainly don't want to be an IRC and then you accidentally like drag and drop an HTML file onto your IRC window and it replaces the content of your channel. That would be weird. But let's just try this out. Oops. That's pretty cool. That was really painless to make that work. So awesome, but how do we prevent this from always happening? I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you why this is maybe not the best idea to always have on. So if we go on IRC here, and let's let it connect. We can join some cool chat, like the Serenity OS channel, for example, if we're welcome. Seems like we are. Wonder what happens if I replace this with readme.md. Oops. Yeah, that's not very good. Also, what is going on with CPU usage? What the heck? IRC client is just going bananas. What are you doing, dude? Select loop? Suspicious. Alright, let me grab a quick profile. I just want to see what's going on here. Okay. What are you doing, dude? You are just burning in scheduler yield. Okay. We should probably look into why that's happening, but I'm not going to do that right now. Anyways, you could see that that feature where you drop anything on your HTML view is clearly not good. So maybe we should have this be a mode. So like if m accepts drops, or maybe we'll even do something like, what should we do? If on, we'll have a hook for it. On Earl dropped. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll just ignore it. Or if we don't do anything, actually, we'll just call our base class, let's say. So we'll call the scrollable widget. Let him deal with it. Okay. I think that's pretty good. If you have the hook, we'll do this. If you don't have a hook, we'll do nothing. Okay, and that particular hook needs to have a URL. Okay, so we'll add that here. Const Earl on Earl dropped. We'll call it Earl drop. Yeah. Because the way that we sort of name these, it's that they're not like past tense, right? It's like on Earl drop, like when it happens, on hover, on change, on click, on start, on drop. I don't know why they ended up that way. I just started doing it that way at some point, and then it stuck, but kind of like it. On Earl drop. Because it kind of makes sense to me, right? Like, because it's synchronous, so it's on the Earl drop. That's when you do the thing, not when it dropped, but right when it drops. Anyway, so then now we can actually do something with that hook. So we'll do that in the browser tab class, where we instantiate the view, which is here. So HTML widget on, we have the various ons here. So on link hover, and we'll just put this guy right next to him. So on Earl drop, Earl, and we'll say, I guess we'll just pass it straight to load. But yeah, so now this behavior is totally opt-in, and you can do whatever you want. When an Earl is dropped on your HTML view, it's up to you to do something interesting with it. I think that's way better. Because I think HTML view is like a really useful UI component, right? You can use it to put rich text anywhere in your app. And you kind of want to have, it's good if it's very flexible, but you want it to be really like neutered in the default setup, so that it doesn't do a bunch of browser-y wacky stuff, like mess with your window icons or anything like that, right? You just want it to be like a plain rich text control. Read-only, I guess. So let me try that terminal drag and drop again. So we'll drag some file here, like, why don't we go in www actually? So what should we open? The inner HTML demo. Click. That's so cool that that just works. Click. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that looks a little weird. But yeah, so now you can actually drag them. And now I dragged a PNG and he got mad. What happened? Why did you not like that? Oh, it's this crash. Okay, never mind. It's this crash where if you run JavaScript on a page and then you try to open another page, we very often crash because the JavaScript engine in the browser right now is per document. So when you transition between documents, we try to throw away the JavaScript engine, and sometimes he gets surprised when he has like a timer running or something like that, and that timer callback thinks that the JavaScript engine is still there. We need to re-architect the way the browser instantiate the JavaScript engine, but that's not why we're here today. Today we are adding URL drag and drop in HTML view, apparently. So libweb. Add a hook for when an URL is dropped on an HTML view. Can now react to clients or embedders of HTML view can now react to this happening by hooking on URL drop. Yeah, I kind of like this word embedders when you're talking about like somebody who uses a widget. I don't know why. They would always say that about WebKit. Like WebKit has embedders, and I kind of like that way of thinking about it. Someone who's embedding your component within their own thing. So let's roll back a bit. So, oh wait, hold on. Let me just commit this to browser. Open URLs. When allow opening URLs by dropping them on the HTML. That's cool. So before I started the drag drop thing, I just wanted to do the MIME type detection stuff. So let's go back to that. Where did so here, like where we're guessing the type that we should use. So I'm thinking we'll make some kind of function that makes like an educated guess, basically. So like guess MIME type based on the URL. We can just put it here for now, and it does not have to be fancy. I'm just thinking that it'll basically be this logic, right? Like, so if it's PNG or GIF, we'll just say, or if it's PNG, return image PNG. If it's GIF, image GIF. You get the idea. Return text plain. And oh, does Markdown have a MIME type? I have no idea. Markdown, MIME type. What is the MIME type for Markdown? Text Markdown? De facto. Yeah, those words. That's de facto is what the web is all about. So I'll take it. All right, and then in the absence of a good guess, we will just say text HTML. This might not be the best policy. Maybe the best policy is to guess text plain, actually. And yeah, I think we'll fall back to text plain, and then like if you drop anything on the browser that doesn't end in HTML or the very Windowsy HTML, then we'll guess that it's text, because then you can drop anything on the browser and we'll just try to render it as text, right? That might be neat. So how do we use this function? So basically we want to refactor this whole thing here so that it now reacts to a MIME type, right? So we could put this in a separate function. So like document is open load with MIME type, or load with MIME type, load document with MIME type, and then we pass in the data, the URL, and the MIME type. Okay. And this function, what's this going to contain? So what did we have? Data, URL, and MIME type. first we have the data, URL, and then our possibly educated guess at a MIME type, possibly from the server, hopefully reasonable. So this logic will instead go in the load document with MIME type, maybe create document with MIME type from MIME type, create document from with or from. It's not the most important thing in the world. Let's not fret too much here. So if MIME type starts with, let's say, image slash, then we will return an image document. That's pretty straightforward. And then if the MIME type is text slash plain, we'll return a text document. And if the MIME type is text slash Markdown, see, this code is turning out quite pleasant. Okay, and then if MIME type is text HTML, then we'll do some stuff. Oh, response headers. Oh, maybe we should pass encoding here as well. So we'll grab the encoding at an earlier stage. So do that, and then if this fails, oh, we don't know how to parse it, so we'll just return null. And down here, we're already extracting the encoding from the content type header. So content type header is basically like content type, text HTML, char set, UTF-8, right? So previously we were getting this part, now we want this part. So let's just get the part before the semicolon. And let me just refresh my memory that this is what it actually looks like. Yeah, there you go. So we want everything before the first semicolon. So encoding, right? And then string MIME type. MIME type is MIME type from content type. And if we don't have a content type header, we will say MIME type is guess the MIME type based on the URL. Okay. Let's see, has MIME type. So this code is starting to look kind of reasonable. We can even put this down here. Yeah. Parsing or that message is a bit weird, but that's just debug, so it's not the most important thing. So encoding from content type, and then we'll just add MIME type from content type. So now we will look for the first semicolon, and if we don't find it, we will return a null string. And the substring here is going to be starting from the start of the string to the offset. The length of the thing will be offset value, and let's see. Let's try it. I wonder what the look at this. I think this content has MIME type text HTML with encoding UTF-8. So that's pretty good. That's based on a guess, right? Because we're on a local file. What if we go to the Serenity website? Things fall apart. Okay, so I think this content has MIME type encoding UTF-8. Well, that's less good. So let's see what this header contains. Let's see, content type header. Maybe we didn't get a content type header. Maybe we're screwed. Then we'll have to fall back on guessing. No, that should have worked. So let's see what's going on here. No content type header to go on. Guessing. Right. So what will it be? Clickety-clack. Content type header. Text HTML. Oh, there's no... Wait. Oh, there is no semicolon. Oh, interesting. So if there is no semicolon, then the whole string is the MIME type, right? Of course. So if it doesn't have a value, then we will just return the whole dang string. Adorable. And you know, of course, we shouldn't crash even if we can't guess the MIME type and so on, but one thing at a time here. All right. See, now we worked out a good setting. So then what would happen if we open up our README, clickety-clack, and then we click on a link to a README somewhere. There was one right here. See, it ends in .md, you can see in the status bar. So now, it will still fail. Oh, we still think, dang it, we still think it, we're still guessing because we don't have a content type header. Why is that? Is it because we failed to load, maybe? I mean, this doesn't sound extremely successful in general here. I wish we could see all of the headers. Let's go in the HTTP class and just dump out all the headers. Wait. Where is the class I am looking for? Okay, is it here? Yes, here it is, in the job class. Oh, yeah. I forgot that I was complaining to Ali that we had duplicate implementations of the HTTP protocol, one for HTTP, one for HTTPS. So then he went and unified them, and then I forgot that he did. So, but now we are in the namespace HTTP class job, which is the HTTP job that implements HTTP both for regular HTTP and for encrypted HTTP. Wow, this code reads so nicely. So I wanted to see the headers, right? And we can just dump them all out right here. Why don't we? Oh, heck, this happens in the protocol server. I'm just remembering. So let's see what the headers actually contain, because now I'm just tracking down this little issue with GitHub. It's so satisfying to open files from clicking on them in the terminal, by the way. Like, why wasn't it always that way? Wait, now I'm trying to open it here. I wanted to... What did I actually want to do? This is what I wanted to do. Let's click on you and show me the headers, dude. Okay, here we are. Look at these. Oh, look at that. It's lowercase. Those absolute madmen. We need to be lowercase aware here because we are looking for that header in title case. So that's entirely our fault. Okay, good. So let's see. The response headers that we get, they should really be like caseless. So I think we have a way to do that. Let's see, case insensitive. Yeah, we can just give it the case insensitive string traits. So check this out. Case insensitive string traits. Boom. And of course we have to do this in a fajillion more places maybe, but we just have to update it everywhere where we do this. But it's only in libweb, so it's not many places. So there we are good. Here we need to do this and this. See, using auto makes this so much nicer because you can change the type of something, and since you used auto everywhere, you don't have to go to a billion places and like change it. Thank you, auto. I feel like auto gets a lot of hate from people, especially people who feel like it obscures things, but I don't really feel like it does. Originally, I thought it would. But now I'm okay with it. Response headers. So wait, what did you not like here? No match for this call. Because I'm giving you a response headers, and the response headers are they're not case insensitive. And where am I getting those from? Response headers. They are here. No match for this call. Guess I have to update lib protocol. That's okay. Oh, and he doesn't know about this guy? Well, it's nothing that including string can't fix. Okay. Then we have to fix lib protocol download. All right, it seems like maybe we do have to go around a few more places. So here, we can't just convert. They're not convertible. Okay. Well, let's see. Hashmap. String, case insensitive string traits, caseless. This will be a little bit gross. Response headers, and oh wait, can we iterate across this guy? For each entry, all right, so it's an IPC dictionary here. For each entry, wait, what are we going to do? We are going to take the key and the value, or really they're like the header name and the value, and then we will put them in the caseless response headers. Then we will just hand out this instead. So a little bit of a gross conversion here, but so maybe it's okay. There's room for improvement here. Text me, this is a bit silly. It's a bit silly that we copy the response headers here just so we can move them into a hash map with different traits. Download widget. You also care about response headers. Oh, forgot about this guy down here. Wait, was this avoidable this whole time? Why didn't we just say auto? Why did I even write it that way? But this is good stuff. Like now we're getting out the MIME type, and we have MIME type guessing if we don't get MIME type from the server, and hopefully this will work right. But I think that's a really good accidental feature just because I clicked on a GitHub link that ended in .md. So let's replicate, drag, drop, very cool. Click on this link right here, it opens, and see, now we're interpreting it as HTML, and we're loading the Serenity GitHub page. Oh, look at that. It's kind of loading something. Yeah, there's, death. Out of memory, yeah. But look, we're still alive. See, killing is not the worst thing in the world because we are still alive. But that's awesome. There's obviously like so much to do to make a website like GitHub work in the browser. But like I'm always saying, if we just do things incrementally, then you can get anywhere you want. So that's pretty cool. Let's this is such a confused change because there's all this other stuff going on now. Do we have anything here? No, this one is standalone, so we can commit everything else. That's nice. So let's do these guys. Okay. Lib protocol. Hand out the response headers in a hash map with case in a case hash map. HTTP headers are case insensitive. So just add case insensitive traits to the hash map and we're good to go. Okay, I feel like that was kind of a crafty little fix. Okay, and then finally, yeah, so now we are extracting the MIME type from the content type header, and we have a function to guess. If we have to do based on the file name, I guess we could say, where do we have guess MIME type? I was thinking we could rename it to like guess MIME type based on file name, just because it's a little bit more expressive, right? Guessing based on file name. I believe, yeah. Okay. Let's put a comma. So the encoding, it's always going to say UTF-8, even if it's like an image or something, but it's not the end of the world. It's just a debug output, right? And we don't care about encoding for an image anyway. So live web. Look at the MIME type provided by the server, or wait, load content, render content based on MIME type provided server or guess. We now look at the content type HTTP header to decide when deciding how to render some loaded content. If there is no content type header, which will always be the case when loading local files, for example, we make a guess based on the URL file name. Yeah. Pretty cool. Okay, so wait, that's not what I meant to do. I wanted to build and run. But yeah, so I think this is going to be it for today's video. So we've done a bunch of different things in browser, but I feel like they were all pretty cool changes. Let's open a oof. Yeah, that works. Kind of neat. It just doesn't look quite right. Anyway, I think this is a very cool feature. So we started out only wanting to do the text files, which now totally work. And let's see if we fall back to text if we load something. Yes, so like .css, we just guess, we fall back on text. I think that works out pretty well. Then after text we added Markdown, and then we started doing the MIME type guessing, we did the drag and drop and everything, and like a lot of neat stuff happening. Very cool. Okay, so this will be the end of today's video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching and for hanging out. I hope that you saw something interesting, and I need to remember to mention that if you haven't already, check me out on Patreon, GitHub sponsors, and these kind of things. If you are interested in supporting my work, you can find links to those things in the description below the video. Thank you everyone again for hanging out, and I will see you next time.